welcome to this insightful session as part of the Parenting Summit 2024. Today, we are honored to have with us Dr. Shada Chandrasekaran, Director Academics of Whitefield Global School, Bangalore. Dr. Shada is a passionate educator, a dedicated mentor, and a thought leader. With years of experience in shaping young minds and supporting families, she has a wealth of knowledge to share with us. Our today's topic is dealing with teenage rebellion, understanding and managing conflict. Teenage rebellion is a natural part of growing up, but it can often be a source of tension in family. In this session, Dr. Shada will shed light on the cause of rebellion, strategies to identify and address it, and some actionable tips for both schools and parents to manage conflicts positively. Over to you, ma'am. Welcome to Parenting Summit.
Thank you very much for inviting me. This topic is very close to my heart. I have been in the field of education, Mr. Shaju, for 42 years. This
Wow,
is my
wonderful.
43rd year. Okay. And over a period, I just, when I see the transitions that happen, the
Mhm.
reasons, and the changes we need to undergo, I always feel that um, there is some connect always is missing, number one. Okay.
Right.
Before I go to that, I want to give a solid one kind of a small anecdote. We are five
Okay.
children. Okay.
Yeah.
I am the youngest in my family. I'm 63 running. So my eldest sister is somewhere in 68 or all. When
Okay.
we were very small, when
Mhm.
she was in her teenage, when she was in her 13, 14 and all,
Mhm.
she used to get, whenever we all were sitting together and having lunch or dinner,
Mhm.
nobody should touch her.
Okay.
And like she was otherwise the most responsible eldest child anybody can expect from her fifth year. From
Okay.
fifth year, we used to, even now we call her a mother hen because all of us, she treats more like a mother than a sister.
I'm sure.
Okay, and in spite of that, that
Mhm.
period, her hair will be on the head,
Mhm.
tightly tied, long hair. She looks like Jaya Badri, okay, short and
Wow.
pretty. The opposite of me, who is
Mhm.
so hefty in,
No, no.
very small in size,
Mhm.
and hair tied up here. No one should touch her, and she gets irritated. She used to throw tantrums at the time. And
Mhm.
my mother never understood. I'm talking about early 70s.
Sure. Right.
Okay, that is late 60s and early 70s.
Mhm.
Nobody had such kind of a awareness. No parenting programs were taken those days. Parenting is a natural phenomena till I became mother also.
Right.
Even my son is 37.
Mhm.
So for me also no parenting sessions went on. So you can imagine my mother never had parenting sessions also. So she never understood what was going on.
Mhm.
Then we all grew up, got married, we had children, our children grew up. Now, when I look back, maybe the past 10 years, 12 years, and when I started doing more on mental health and all, I
Mhm.
really can correlate what happened with my sister.
Okay.
That is that from the time the second child in the family is born, she has been given a responsibility of behaving like an eldest daughter of the house, eldest
Okay.
child. So the
Mhm.
responsibility has been put onto her head
Mhm.
that she needs to behave well. She needs to take up the responsibility. She cannot do anything wrong. She has to stand as a support to everybody. And there is a talk in my entire neighborhood, entire whomever we go around. If the eldest child behaves well, the remaining, it's like an engine. So the
Right.
remaining bogies will follow the track.
A
Otherwise,
perfect role model.
yeah. So the whole train has to be taken care by herself. She
Mhm.
is the engine. She, even today, she feels so. So then what happens? The responsibility, the expectations, and the kind of burden which is put onto her head, that I always felt that she has become a boodhi bachi.
Okay.
Okay, there was no childhood.
Mhm.
Constantly trying to be the best, so you cannot misbehave.
Mhm.
You cannot be a child, and child needs to be a child. So breaking things is part of it.
Okay.
The breaking can be toys,
Mhm.
your mood or your
Correct.
expectations.
Right.
I'm taking all 180 degrees.
Right.
Is a child growing? It's
Mhm.
part of that.
Right.
So why do they misbehave when I look at? First thing I'm saying is that the expectations, number one.
Mhm.
Now, by the time a parent becomes like now, if I look at, if I am 30, 35, 40, I have worked almost 20 years by then. So
Mhm.
over the period of time, I refined myself. I have become perfect in whatever I am doing. But how
Correct.
can I expect my 12-year-old child to be like me?
Okay. Very true.
Okay.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
a teacher who is a 30-year-old, already she has become matured enough. My sister's son-in-law made one statement some 15 years ago. He said,
Mhm.
when you turn 30 and still if you don't become matured, then
Mhm.
what is the use of becoming 30? He asked a question. Okay. So
Okay.
so the 30 years means we need to have some maturity. Am I right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
30 years, if you start your life taking it from 18 or 20, 10 years you have already lived, you learned, you changed, you are learning, you are in the process of refining yourself. But the
Right.
12-year, 13-year-old who's just started a teenage
Mhm. We
is
expect the same.
beginning. So
Mhm.
no comparisons, number
Correct.
one.
Right.
Now, who has set the norms that this is the best behavior?
Okay. Good question.
Yeah, because what is best to you may not be best to me.
Very true.
Yeah, except that I should not cross the limits.
Accepted.
And
Yes.
it changes from age to age. Let us do a little bit of an introspection. Me as a teenager, I would have loved to sleep till 8 o'clock
Okay.
or 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
Given a time, I would like to get up at 12 o'clock.
All of us.
All of us, there is no doubt. Am I right?
Yes.
So, why were we asked to get up early in the morning? Because we have to go and attend the school. Yeah.
Right.
Now, yeah, getting up early makes you more healthy, wealthy, wise. That becomes a real Brahma Muhurtam learning and all. But we should also understand that we also misbehaved.
Right.
Didn't our parents teach us? That's a different period.
Mhm.
That's a different period. Okay.
Right.
Those days, slapping, hitting, throwing words was norm.
No.
I have a 9-year-old grandson. My son shouted at him twice for some reason. He said that I'm not liking this behavior. And third time, my grandson told that I can call 1098.
Oh.
Child.
Okay. He's aware of his rights type.
Yes. Now, when there are some things for due to many whatever the change which is happening in society, we are making the children know about their rights. Number one, we
Mhm.
are only giving so much of an explanation about everything what we do. Am I
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And
Correct.
we are telling them that you need to eat this for this reasons. I don't remember any day anybody telling any one of us in our childhood, you need to eat because you get vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates. No,
Mhm.
you better eat and go, otherwise you will starve.
Right.
First word.
Simple.
Second word, how? Get it, take it, eat it or take it.
Right.
So eating is better than taking, so we ate. Now the transition went on. For
Mhm.
good or bad, it went on. So when the transition and change happened, are we changing along
Mhm.
with this change? Is number one.
Okay.
Number two, there is too much of an expectation, too much of a pressure on the children. The
Right.
pressure is not just from the parents, it is
Mhm.
from the society. I'll give you one small example. Kya pad rahe ho beta? What are you doing? What are you studying? Say whatever class.
Standard question.
Standard question. Oh, अच्छा पढ़ रहे हो ना?
Hmm.
Now this अच्छा पढ़ रहे हो is again we need to define what is that अच्छा पढ़ रहे हो? That I am
Okay.
getting all the necessary attitude, skill, knowledge,
Mhm.
competencies, or
Right.
am I getting A1 grades?
Okay.
No.
Having clarity is important. Yes.
Yeah. No, in people who are asking the question.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And what is that we are defining acha pad rahe ho today is that you get a 1 grade, then you are
Mhm.
acha pad rahe ho.
Okay.
Whether the A1 grade is getting you the required competencies or not is a secondary question, irrespective of the class. Okay, this is second pressure that I constantly have to be in the acha pad rahe ho kind of a slot. This is third thing is that my father, mother, achiever, non-achiever. If they are non-achiever, then I should become an achiever. Every parent wants their children to become minimum of Shah Rukh Khan or Sachin Tendulkar or whoever the topmost person today who is actually
In their field.
in their
Yes.
field. Now, in trillions of people, there are hardly 10, 15 people who are there.
Right.
So all cannot become that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Realistic expectation to
Yeah,
have.
realistic expectation. If you become good, if you don't become also good. So are we telling the child, we love you as you are?
Right.
You are allowed to do the mistakes. We are here to hold you, but understand, do not repeat the mistakes, number one. Do not do such mistakes which you will not be able to look back upon.
Okay.
There are mistakes in the world where you cannot say that I'll try this. For example, drugs. You
Correct.
don't
Correct.
go for those things. For example, smoking. This is
Right.
not the time for you. For example, taking to drinks in a teenage,
Right.
younger age. This is not the time for you. Okay. And having physical contacts with the other gender. This is not the time for you.
Right.
Because the repercussions we need to tell them and tell them this is what will happen. We don't want you to do this for these reasons. And
Right.
this is what gives you best. Now, I want you to take care of yourself. I'm supporting you. That doesn't mean that every time you will keep falling and every time I will support you.
Correct. Correct.
Set your expectations very clear in discussion with the child, which is
Right.
very difficult because present generation, you ask one question, you tell one expectation, they will put 4 expectations on you.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
And the discussion will not take you anywhere. So first of all, the parents have to cool down. They should start themselves their expectations from zero.
Right.
Yeah. Now I'm coming to teachers.
Okay.
Teachers should also understand what they need to do. First of
Okay.
all, the child is coming, the child is under tremendous peer pressure. The peer pressure is not just a teenage, it is there from grade 1, it is there from lower classes. If
Right.
one child brings chocolates for birthday, everybody should bring the chocolates for birthday.
That becomes the standard or the
That
norm.
becomes the standard. If one child in UKG class tells the teacher, ma'am, you look so beautiful, the remaining 30 will tell the teacher she is looking beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you should
It's
see.
a
I'll give you one example that this happened. This is my experience some 25 years ago.
okay.
25, almost 30 years ago, not even 25, 30
I'm
years.
sure it'll be relevant now also.
Very relevant.
Right.
It is with regard to toddlers. Okay.
Okay.
So I went to invite one lady to be a chief guest for our school for some program. She was ex-Air Commodore's wife. So I went there. She was running a small play school.
Okay.
I took her this thing appointment and went there. Then when I went, she said she was at her backyard. A lot of plants were there. There were sand pits. There were some 20, 30 children there. She didn't even look at me. She said that baitho. She said baitho. Quite a senior lady. She must be in 60s those days. I was very young, 30 years ago. So I sat on the staircase steps which were there. I was watching. And then the children were all over playing. And just when I was sitting, one child came. He brought sand in his hand. And he asked her to open her palm. And when she opened her palm, he kept the sand in her hand and he said, I made omelette for you. Eat.
Okay.
So she said, wow, very nice. What did you put in omelette? Then he said, he has put apple, he has put guava, he has put what all vegetables, then he has put sugar, milk, excepting everything else was there in the omelette. And she was patiently listening. Then she said that, wow, very tasty. But normally when I make omelette, I'll put eggs in it. She did not say he's wrong or anything. I tell you, the next 20 minutes, all the 30 children made something
Okay, one by one.
one by one.
They
They
all
all
wanted to.
explain.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This is not only their trend.
Mm-hmm.
Even today,
Right.
toddlers also, there is a peer, this thing that if this one says, I should say. It is that effect. What do you call it? Domino effect will be there. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
that is the peer pressure there. What is the peer pressure once they become 8, 9, 7 and all? They need to be accepted by the class.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they get accepted by class? There is always a hero in the class.
Okay.
Hero is the one who will break all the norms.
Okay.
Okay, now the hero is the one who brings out the groups in the class. It is
Okay.
not the best, the child with the A1 grade. No, 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 no. It is the hero who is the one who breaks all the norms. Now, everybody wants to be in the good books of the hero.
Okay.
Now, that is again a domino effect. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the hero actually at home must be zero,
Mm-hmm.
but he or she will project a different picture in the classroom.
Okay.
And everybody is influenced.
Mm.
Like this, I have a group of friends. My friends will decide my behavior.
Okay.
So I have a lot of peer pressure. How my
Mm.
friends behave is what I need to behave. It
Right.
is not what I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I know that is wrong,
Okay.
but I have to be accepted by my group.
Right. Right. So a hero who's there at school, as you said, may not be a hero at home. Then he starts reacting in a different way, challenging, and not able to adapt or not able to project himself what he himself is. Right.
Correct. We call it nakab, no?
Nakab. That's it.
Nakab. We will put a
Mm.
cover. So
Right.
maybe he himself is in a denial mode. He or she himself is trying to get into a different picture. Whatever it is not a big deal, but
Okay.
it
Mhm.
is there. I'm not saying the hero breaks all the norms. It
Right.
may be a girl or a boy, but they are the ones who will, when the teacher is teaching, they will hit from the bottom to other one. They will
Right.
pinch somebody, they'll take away somebody's notebook, they will giggle, they will make a comment. Today they make memes. Okay,
Yes, that is very common. Very
that is
common.
very common. So
Yes.
now, what should the teacher do? The teacher must understand this is a growing up problem.
Mhm.
I tell you, did we not call our teachers by name?
We all did. I guess we all did.
Anybody who is listening to this in future also will know every one of us named our teachers. Yeah.
Yes.
And it is nothing, something new. Even my grandfather's time, they would have named them.
Natural.
Yeah. And it is part of growing up. We remember them like with that.
Mhm.
Okay, we go back to them, we pay obeisance, we give them respect, but it's part of growing up. So memes are nothing insult to you, to anyone.
Okay.
Number one.
Mhm.
It's a fantastic art. So let us appreciate, wow, what a creative way you're doing. It needs a lot of creativity to do.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So it
Yes.
needs a lot of creativity. I
Right.
told my darlings during COVID, since I was not allowing them to stay in the house whenever this thing lockdown broke, and they said schools can have the especially 10th and 12th classes. When I wanted to have classes, they didn't want to come, and when I made it compulsion, they have made such memes about me. The whole world will be going somewhere, but Sharda is walking in a different direction. Okay.
Okay.
This is a very small thing. There are multiple memes on me.
Okay.
And first thing, to my luck, I don't watch all those things.
Okay.
Second thing, when my HM came and told me, I said, I appreciate, I love them. They're able to use their creativity. I'm extremely proud of them. So now it is our mindset. Third thing, the teacher must understand that don't put too many expectations together. सीधी उंगली नहीं चल रही है. You are not able to do it directly. Find
Okay.
a way out how you can reach out to them. The
Okay.
more you get frustrated, the more they will do.
Mm-hmm.
And they will get into the pressures.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
first of all, from all sides, let us remove the pressures. Okay.
Okay.
Then we will have only one pressure to work, that is peer pressure,
Okay.
which we cannot remove because
Mm-hmm.
again, For everything, there is a reflection required from our side, Mr. Shaju. We were
Correct.
also influenced by somebody.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah? We
That's
also
wonderful.
wanted to behave like somebody.
Right, ma'am.
We wanted to dress up like somebody. Our
Always.
parents would have told us, don't be so stupid. You
Hmm.
be yourself, but we felt very bad that we were told about that.
Hmm.
Okay. My many a time my mother felt very upset that I do not walk, give a dainty walk.
Okay.
Yeah, many a time she told me that walk like a lady.
Okay.
Oh, but I was imitating my father.
Right.
Okay. So
To
what
understand why a kid is doing something in a particular fashion, one need to understand. You rightly said that. Yes.
one need to understand. And
Yes.
then do not blow it. Okay. First of all, that overhead. Do not just make a big issue out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand the child, number one. So for
Correct.
this, we need to understand the teacher's pressure. So the
Every
first, yeah,
so it's like every situation is not do or die.
no, no,
You know,
no.
everything is not that critical. Everything is not that, what do you call it? It's not the end of the world. I've seen a lot of parents coming in, discussing this, where they say ki, he keeps doing this or she keeps doing this. This is something which is unacceptable and all. So I always tell them, at least sit with them, try to understand why they are doing it. What they are doing is important, but the more important question is why they are doing it. Try to understand, right? Yes,
Connect,
ma'am. Uh,
connected,
Yes.
connected. And you know, like somewhere, I smilingly I tell my son also, there is something called karma siddhu, I say.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So it has to come back to us somewhere. Okay. I mean, with all the humor attached, I'm saying that we need to completely introspect.
Right.
Where did we go wrong, number one?
Right.
Because many ways the behavior is a reflection of our own behavior.
Mhm.
Every psychologist, every psychiatrist first talks to the parent, not to the child.
Right.
They want to know. And
Mhm.
this is one. Second thing, we are keep coming to a society which is being influenced by Western as well as our own culture. So
Very
when you
true.
have an amalgamation of both,
Mhm.
that our own values and Western values, but Western culture coming, and people who are taking this kind of a thing, then they
Mhm.
should be ready for the repercussions.
Correct.
Yeah. So now
Every coin got two sides.
two sides. So,
Yes.
for example, I'm saying, first of all, if the child is having any kind of mental issues that
Mhm.
is not listening to the extent that the child is getting into vapes, the child is getting into drinking, the child is getting into drugs. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or after COVID, we had a lot of problems, lot of
Mhm.
issues. In that, one issue is that they have seen too much of Netflix, too much
Right.
all this OTT, and suddenly,
Digital exposure.
yeah, one group of children decided they are gay.
Okay.
Okay. Then they also wanted to tell this to their parents.
Mhm.
Oh, the counselors laughed and said, everybody will know when they need to know. Why should we make an announcement from now? So do not get, what I'm saying is that alarmed, but be alert.
Mhm.
There is a difference. Be
Right.
alert, but don't get alarmed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That
Right.
is
Right.
one more thing that I give the parents and teachers. Be
Mhm.
alert. Third thing is do not stamp anybody. Don't put them that this is it.
Mhm.
I have seen worst of the cases who have become the best citizens of this country today.
That is true, ma'am. That is true.
During the school days when they misbehaved, nobody wants to keep them in the school, but today they are running such responsible organizations. They are such responsible citizens,
Right.
contributing to the whole growth of economy as well as the well behavior of an economy. So
Right.
who are we to decide or judge on whether they will grow, they will not grow? We
Right.
all change, they will also change. Only thing
Right.
is be alert, don't
Mhm.
be alarmed.
Right.
Okay. Second thing, don't press the alarm bells. Third thing, what we have done, I tell you, is that have proper counselors in the school.
Okay.
Counselors are somebody who are the bridge between the children and the school and the parents, because
Mhm.
there is no labeling happens with the counselors. Counselors talk to them as individuals.
Mhm.
Counselors look at them as individuals, and
Okay.
counselors talk to them like what they need to talk. Like at different levels, they grow from a friend to a peer to a counselor, but it's
Mhm.
never a sermon.
Okay. Okay.
Why people don't want to listen to me is that I'm
Mhm.
already in a position. So
Understood.
ultimately, I'm on stage.
Mhm. That's
Okay, so nobody wants to listen to that age.
yes.
Who would they listen is a peer, a
Right.
friend. So
Right.
counselors, they will listen. Counselors know when to ring the bell.
Right.
Then they will manage. Second
Mhm.
thing is the teachers also need a very good mental health programs.
Mhm.
They are also not very coming from such an informed society, informed backgrounds, number one. Number two, they are also under tremendous pressure. The
Okay.
expectations are very high on them. They are supposed to
Mhm.
deliver.
Mhm.
Take a heterogeneous group, but deliver that when the deliverance happens, that it should be an equal deliverance, which is not possible.
Right.
So they are also under pressure. So
Mhm.
have every school, we have that mental health programs
For
for
teachers,
everybody.
for everybody. That's wonderful.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Then principals are the ones who need maximum support.
Mhm.
I always call principals are doing more of an Amrapali job nowadays. Dancing on the rope with balancing, and every day they don't get
Okay.
off their rope. They are all Amrapalis. Now,
Okay.
when somebody is doing an Amrapali job, imagine the stress on them.
This is true, ma'am.
So, how can a principal
Mhm.
take a right decision when a group of children are misbehaving?
Mhm.
And she herself is under pressure.
Correct.
So, what we do is first have a properly well designed mental health program and let the right person talk to the people.
Okay. That
And
is also important.
that is also another thing I'm saying. Unless until the water is put into that shank, no,
Mhm.
it will not become that holy water, tirth.
Mhm.
So
Correct.
when a right person speaks, only people will listen.
Right.
Okay, घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर. So you cannot speak about it, even if you know. You have to bring a person from outside. So
Right.
a right person who
Mhm.
can talk to everybody about what is the issue,
Mhm.
how to deal with the issue, what
Right.
could have actually, triggered this particular problem,
Mhm.
and how the parents need to support the school, and how school and parents should join hands together in
Mhm.
overcoming the problem. There is not a single school in this country which can say that we do not have children with such behavioral issues.
Mhm.
Nobody can
It
say.
is common. It is
It's
common. Yes,
common.
ma'am.
It's
Yes.
human to be like this. If they don't have, then I'm surprised,
Then
because
there
we
is an
live
issue.
with humans.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So when you have such problems, the
Right.
problems vary again 180. Depends
Mhm.
upon the demography.
Right.
Problems change and depends upon the demography, and how we are going to attend is that in our Whitefield Global School, we have mental health programs. We
Okay.
have counselors. We have every one of us keeping eyes and ears completely open
Mhm.
and non-judgmental.
Right.
First thing is that be alert, don't press the alarm.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing, don't get frustrated with these things. What is worst today is tomorrow nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
what looks
Yes.
very bad today that we have to actually can't show our face,
Mhm.
there are no more news tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Headline changes
So
every day.
yeah, every minute it changes.
Now,
So
to yeah, digital world.
yeah,
Every
so
minute.
our whatever that particular period is only this. If we can sustain this period,
Right.
and this if we can tell the child,
Mhm.
especially teenage, because they have completely a lot of internal changes happening. Harmonic changes happening. They do not know. Now, 9 years is seen as pre-teenage.
Mhm.
So if 9 years is pre-teen, for my grandson, I should talk to him about the changes that is happening in his body.
Very true.
And I still look at him as a baby. He is no more baby.
Yes, he's
So
going.
how we are going to take this information,
Mhm.
internalize the information,
Mhm.
contextualize the whole program to
Right.
suit this particular group of children, that these changes happen due to these things. So you will feel irritated, you will feel upset, you feel nobody wants you, you feel depressed. These are all part of growing up. We love you,
Mm.
irrespective of what you are.
Right.
This kind of a behavior talk must happen from home to school and school to home,
Mhm.
everywhere. And for this to happen, the parents who are working
Right.
morning till evening, I'm from
Mhm.
IT hub, a city of IT here.
Okay.
They are under tremendous pressure, and
Very true. Very true.
and now once they come back home, they have to behave angelic.
Mm.
Then they also need a mental health program, no?
Right.
Yeah.
They also
So
need.
see the kind of a society we are in,
Mhm.
which is causing these problems that, as I told you, my parents or me, we were not trained to become parents, default parents. So we
Right.
learned, like, when I want to deal, what did my mother do with me? I did with my son. So good, bad, ugly, whatever.
That's our reference book.
Yeah. But
More
now
for most of
it
us.
doesn't happen that way.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
It doesn't happen that way. We
Right.
changed. So now we need to change. When we are changing, first the parents should be in the that kind of a change, that I came back from home for office. So now I have to be angelic. So it is
Mhm.
very difficult. We have
Yes,
to have
yes, you rightly said. In our workshop, all our workshops, the first topic we address
yeah.
is change. Because unless you are ready to change, you can't, understand what is going around.
Yes.
That
Number one.
is very, yeah, very important.
Number two, somehow I'm seeing this trend, which is not at all right.
Hmm.
Arguing and fighting in the presence of children.
Okay.
And many a time using the children to judge between about their fights, who is better, who is right, and all
Hmm.
between the parents.
Involving kids, asking them for clarification, who said this, who raised voice first, who was, I mean, this is very common. I mean, this is something which parents don't realize when they are doing it, but it has a huge impact on kids.
Stress is so much on them. They
Yes.
need to decide between parents who is right.
Hmm.
Is it right? This is not right, no?
No.
We cannot do this. See, who it is human to have difference of opinion. I always tell everybody, that's what we were told. You
Hmm.
fight within four walls. None else should know that you have a difference of opinion.
Hmm.
Come out smiling.
Okay.
So no physical abuses to each other, no mental abuses to each other. A discussion and argument is a point of view.
Hmm.
And when you cannot argue properly, be silent for next 1 week. The idea that the solution will come by itself.
Itself. Yes.
Many a time it manifests in the silence.
Right.
So when will the present generation of parents understand this? That
Hmm.
silence speaks more.
Hmm.
Because of this vociferous behavior, the child is under tremendous pressure. So we should change that.
Right. Right.
That's the major one. I don't want to be a sage on stage. I don't want to be a preacher. But I'm saying that I see this and I get very, very, very emotional. I get upset. Right in the presence of children, you fight. So
Hmm.
the children, very matter of factly, they make an opinion and they make a statement. Then we
Hmm.
get hurt about it.
Right.
Then either that you should take everything inclusive of the behavior from the children for your behavior, because this is what I call karma.
Correct.
So we should be extremely careful what we are talking,
Right.
what we are talking, where we are talking, how we are talking, with whom we are talking, what
Hmm.
we are seeing, when
Right.
we are seeing,
Hmm.
and all these things we have to be careful.
Right.
Unless until all this behavior is being put properly,
Hmm.
that stress on the children will not change. They are actually the mirror images of us.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. And whenever the karma comes back, it comes in multifold. I
We
did
need
one
to be
mistake.
careful of that also.
I did one mistake, but when it comes back in 100.
Hmm.
I never behaved like this. Yeah. But this is the manifestation of that. So you are the trigger somewhere, number one. Number two, if you are not the trigger, there is a peer trigger, there is a society trigger, there is some trigger. First of all, cool down. Do not get worried. Accept the child, then talk to the child. Then the child will not talk. The child will lock the doors. For the child, you are actually the last person as a parent or a teacher to whom he or she can talk to, because you do not belong to their age.
Okay.
Why should they trust you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number two, I always tell this. I want every parent who is listening, every teacher who is listening, this to understand. When a child says, I hate you, the mother cries, father cries, teacher cries. But please understand, they don't mean that they hate you. They
Okay.
hate a situation that
Mm.
has put them into a place where they had to stand as a completely a defaulter.
Okay. Understanding that is important. That situation, that circumstances, basis which that kid is reacting in that particular way, or the teen. Yes, very important, ma'am.
Very, very important. Third thing is, don't hold it in your heart that my child said this and all, or my student said that. The child will forget.
Hmm.
If he or she did not, they'll come and say sorry. They may not say sorry.
Right.
They may express it in another way. They may not express it in any other way. Do
Right.
not have such kind of expectations, but accept them as children.
Yes.
Children
Wonderful.
becoming adults. The moment we do this,
Hmm.
all this, whatever we call as a misbehavior, adolescence problems, first we will understand.
Right.
We understand the problem which is looking so big today
Hmm.
will come down to actual problem.
Yes.
Then we can solve it,
Hmm.
because today every city has more as many counselors as teachers.
Yes.
We need them.
Hmm.
All of us need them. What I cannot talk to anybody, I can talk to a counselor.
Right. I can open up. I can share my worries, my challenges, which
Correct. And
probably I'm not comfortable sharing with my parents or with my teachers. Yes. Yes. You're right, ma'am.
uh, uh, I tell you, for example, you a classic example. If I have some 13, 12, 13-year-old child comes and tells that I'm in love with my neighbor's child or my classmate,
Hmm.
I would like to marry the girl or a boy.
Hmm.
Will I take it easily?
I think most of us are not even prepared to, hear that statement, or we are ready to even think that this is also a possibility. Whereas
Correct.
in, this is natural, and yeah, but we are not prepared. So I think we should have strategies how to address this, because this is something which, if not today, tomorrow, it may happen, it will happen, right? But we can't control that problem, but we have to control our reaction, how we
Correct.
can react,
Correct.
what
Correct.
we need to do, how to make them understand. Yes, ma'am, you're very right.
Yeah. So I'll give you, I would like to, time is up, I think. So I would
Yeah.
like to conclude with a story.
Right.
Since there was one king in a very cold place.
Okay.
So he kept his, organized his entire court, hot day outside his court, so that
Mhm.
everybody will get the heat and vitamin D and all. So one person came and he said, I'm actually a gem vendor. and he
Okay.
brought out two identical looking diamonds, and he said, this is very precious diamond. One of it is a diamond, the other one is glass. If
Okay.
any one of you can identify which is the glass and which is the differentiate and pick up the real diamond, I'll give the diamond worth and the diamond also. But if anybody loses,
Hmm.
they should give me the same, the diamond worth.
Hmm.
And if your nobody comes from your court, that means your city did not have that kind of good gemologists. Now
Okay.
it's a challenge to the king also.
Mhm.
Everybody tried. They were scared to try because they don't have that much money to give and all. They were looking, one or two tried, they had to give and they had to really go back with an insult. Listening to all this, one visually impaired person came and he said, I will do.
Okay.
Everyone thought the one with the eyes could not do what he do. He went, he touched both, and he picked up the glass piece and gave it to that vendor. And he said, this is glass and that is diamond.
Mhm.
So this man was surprised. He said, how do you know? He said, first give me money and
Okay.
diamond. Then say sorry to my king. Then
Hmm.
I'll tell you how I have done. So he did all that. Then he asked, how did you find out? He said, it is very simple. Diamond doesn't get heated up under the sun. This
Right.
particular glass piece which you kept got heated up.
Okay.
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 So with that, I identified. Why
Hmm.
am I telling this story is that we have to decide whether we want to be a diamond or a glass piece.
Okay.
If
That is
we
also
react,
important.
if we
Yes.
react, we will
Hmm.
be the glass piece.
Right.
We respond, we will be the diamond.
Hmm.
So if we want diamonds in society, let us behave like a diamond. Let us
Right.
respond, not react. Let us think. Let us
Right.
understand. And first of all, children are children. We are all here to
Right.
support them, to
Hmm.
make them understand, to
Hmm.
make them actually grow into better citizens. They are
Hmm.
undergoing the problems only because of their harmonic problem, the
Right.
peer pressures, and the pressure the society is giving through multiple ways from every angle. We are
Hmm.
not thinking we are giving them a pressure, but we are giving, we are setting up an example. All best behavior has to be put in. And we
Right.
judge them. We tell them, how did the child dress up? Everything we judge. So because of this, the rebellion is coming from them.
Right.
Okay. So if we behave normally, they will also behave.
Things will be in control.
Yes.
Great, ma'am. This was really wonderful, wonderful, getting your insight. Thanks a lot
It's my
for
pleasure.
sharing such valuable insights and dealing with, teen rebellion. We all have teenagers these days, right? Your
Yeah.
expertise have, provided us with a deeper understanding of challenges teenagers face and the tools we can, navigate these turbulence years. This is like wonderful, ma'am. It was like great. Thanks a
Thank
lot once again for
you.
coming and sharing your thoughts and looking forward to having more interaction with you. Thank
Let's have more interaction. I would like to listen from you how you deal with these problems, because what I
Sure.
made it look very easy is not so easy. It's very difficult.
Very true. Very true.
Huge, long way to go. So
Right.
I would like to listen from you that how you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. We are asking our listeners and viewers to share their experience. If they have any questions, they can definitely ask us, and then we can respond. With, uh,
Sure.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Good day.